everybody. And I'm re-recording because I was having some technical issues earlier. But again, I still have my notes in my hand that I wanted to share with you guys. And one of the things that I wanted to share was some information that I received here recently that I thought was going to be very interesting. I told you guys that I would come back and I would talk about the military hospitals as well as the VA, and I wanted to keep my promise. I also wanted to share, hey Alyssa, I wanted to share some other information with you guys in regards to hair replacement. And if you were on with me earlier, then you heard the story. But let me keep my promise first. So one of the things I was talking about is in our program with the hair replacement, hair loss certification, you can accept insurance in your business. So it's not so much about the money. The money is good. And it's about having a niche market. A lot of people are having a hard time in the salons, you know, all ethnicities, and then some people are doing wonderful. They're doing great. The business is booming. So some of you may have the clientele or the skill set, but you may not have the marketing down pat or the branding. And again, those are things that we can help you with. Even you have people, I have a couple of friends that have over 100,000 followers on benefiting from having all the followers. So it looks good to have all these followers, but followers, you know, they don't turn likes and shares don't turn to money. So I don't care how many likes you get on a post or how many people you have following you. If you're not monetizing the audience, then that's a whole nother subject. So as far as the military, if you are in a city close to a military base, or the people that's in that city are mostly active duty people, a lot of them are going to be active duty people, or they work at the hospital. I have students who work in doctor offices. I have students who work alongside with doctors, where the doctors will send a referral to my student, where they may even write a prescription for a cranial prosthesis and send it to the student. And after the class, the student knows what to do with that prescription. So if you are a cosmetologist or a barber, you could definitely have doctors referring people to you. And you might say, well, I'm a barber. How's that possible? Well, it's possible because men suffer from hair loss, and a lot of men are going to talk to their barber first. They're not going to leave their barber and go talk to somebody else, because that relationship is there. They're comfortable with you. You've been through the process of the progression with them as they've been. So you're going to be the first person they talk to. Same thing with the women with the hair, you know, the hairstylist or cosmetologist. The female has the relationship with the stylist. She's been going there for years. They've been watching the progression of the hair loss, and quite naturally, she's going to have a conversation with that hairstylist. So the thing about it is just building relationships. You have to build these relationships with your client, where the client is comfortable enough to have these conversations with you. But this is where the client tries to have the conversation with you, and because you have limited information, you're not giving them all of their options. And so what they'll do is go Google and start looking for other options, because deep down, they may not be satisfied with what you've said or the advice you've given. So they want to get a second opinion, or they may go somewhere else and get a second and third opinion, or they may go to hair club or something like somewhere like that. All the information. So if you're in a military town and a military hospital is in that town, a lot of those people are active duty people. Now when you go to the VA, those people have already served, and they may be out discharged honorably or on a medical discharge or something of that nature. and they are veterans. They serve their time and they're not active duty. But you have other hospitals like Walter Reed and different places throughout the United States. They serve a service active duty people. So again, if you have not taken my class and you've been standing on the sideline and you've been watching and you've been seeing the receipts, you've been watching the testimonial videos, still don't trust, still don't believe, don't trust the process. Excuse me. I can give you the steps and tell you exactly what you need to say, exactly what you need to wear, the questions you need to ask, the positions of the people you need to speak to, how to conduct yourself, you know, as far as in a military atmosphere and things of that nature. And those of us who've been in the military know it's quite different. So my goal for you, if you've already had the class, if you need to take it as a refresher, you need to take it over. I've had several students to come and take this class over because when they took it the first time, they were not ready. They just called me up and said, look, I wasn't ready. I thought I was. I had too many other issues going on. I wasn't focused. Maybe business picked back up, so they put this down and they didn't do anything with it. So they come back. And a girl that comes to mind, Teresa. Teresa took the class the first time. She didn't do anything with it. A year later, she came back, she took it again. And it wasn't 2-3 months afterwards, she had 2 or 3 Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Health, and a couple other insurance companies that paid. And you can go to my Instagram, Tony Love International, and scroll down my page, and there's a video of Teresa giving her testimony. So I don't make any of this up. I'm just telling you. And we were getting so many results from my graduates. Hey, Alicia Vaughn, that's one of my graduates. But we were getting so many results from graduates. I had to create a tab on my website entitled Graduate Results. So you can go and look yourself and you can see what the students were doing, the years, the organizations that paid, the amounts that they got paid. When you leave the class, you're going to know exactly what to do. And if you're still thinking about it, you still haven't made up your mind, go to TonyLove.com, click on Education and Class Registration, and you can watch a free online session about the class. It's about 45 minutes to an hour, but you can see everything. And if you've had my class, get your notes and you can follow me with your notes. From the discussion we had in class, all of it's going to start coming back to you. So a lot of students take it as a refresher if they've had the class. And for those of you that's wondering what the class is about, you can take it. Now, Scooter the Barber, hello to you. I want you to take this class and any other barber that's watching, because the barbers are missing out. You don't have to put any hair on anybody's head or anything like that if you don't want to, Scooter. You can get a contract with the and you can cut the patient's hair and shave them. And there is money allocated for that. So you can still go to your barber shop Tuesday through Saturday, or however you work, and you can go to the VA Mondays and Tuesday, and you'll get a check from the VA for cutting and shaving the patient's hair. You can get a contract for that, barbers. So even if you take the class and you don't take it just for the hair replacement, there's going to be something you can get in. I want to share something else with you. A lot of people, hey Bonnie, a lot of people were asking me to keep the tips coming, keep the business tips coming, keep the tips coming. The tip I have for you guys today is to diversify your business. You cannot continue just doing the same thing, thinking you're going to get more money. It just doesn't work like that. You know, you have to have some higher ticket items And you have to diversify and kind of do business a little differently so that you can have some additional income and revenue coming in. And some people don't want to leave the industry. Some people love doing hair or cutting hair and they don't want to leave. And you shouldn't have to leave your industry to make more money. You should be able to diversify within the industry. And that's what we teach in the class. And that's why my students are being so successful. Wade the barber did $400,000 last year. A barber. He did $400,000. He was on the Rachel Ray Show. He was on Vice News on HBO. And he's done more. When I met Wade, he was getting $200 for a quick weave on the top of a guy's head. Now he's a $400,000 barber. And this happened within a year. Not 2 years. So it can happen for you too. But the thing about Wade, when he called me, so one of my former students, and y'all, I got the best graduates in this industry. You talking about recruiting? Wade was recruited by a girl who took my class. And one of my students on break took her out to the car and opened the trunk and started showing her the notes and saying, look, you get, and the girl was in somebody else's class and called me on break and registered for my class. So my graduates are serious because they know the results that they're getting. But hey, Ron, I want to share something else with you guys. We talking about seriousness. Wade couldn't wait. When I told him when my next class was, he was like, you don't have for you to teach me one-on-one. And I told him, and he said, I can be there in 2 days. So he got off the phone, booked a flight, called me back, and said, I'll be there in 2 days. So he was serious. Fast forward, now he went from charging $200 for a quick weave on top to doing units and $400,000 not even 2 years later. So he was serious. Hey, Stacy. Now, I'm going to tell you about this girl. All of 4th of July. I remember when 4th of July came, I would have so many clients lined up. Some of the time they couldn't even fit in the salon because y'all saw the video where I started. It wasn't a big salon. Sometimes they were sitting in their cars. It would be so many people. Salons are not like that today. A lot of them are not like that today. And I'm not saying that they are so great. It's YouTube University. It wasn't any of that. It was more like, you had your clients, they came to the salon, everybody had a great time, it was great customer service. But I have this sheet of paper because I wanted to be reminded of this call that I got the other day. And it makes me sad to even talk about it because the young lady called me and she said, I took your class at a hair show 3 years ago. And she said, I should have taken your class 3 years ago. She said, I opened up my salon 2 years ago. And she said, today is the week before the 4th. I'm 2 months behind on my rent for my salon. She said, I want to take your class so bad. 2 years ago. She said, I should have taken it 2 years ago. She said, I wasn't a salon owner at the time, so I should have taken it when I had the opportunity, and I procrastinated and procrastinated. She said, now I'm a single mom. I own a salon. The landlord is trying to work with me. And she said I had to sell my car. She started to cry, and she cried really bad on the phone. She said, I need this class. I got to take that class. She said, I didn't care. I had to sell my car. She was like, I didn't have nothing else. I'm a single mom. I have a daughter to take care of. I don't want to go get a job. I don't want to leave the industry. And she cried and she cried and she cried. And I told her, I said, look, that's called entrepreneurship. That's real entrepreneurship. Just like Wade said, hey, do you have a class coming up? I said, no. He said, I can be there in 2 days. That's when your back is against the wall and you do what you gotta do. And some people looking at me saying, I wanna sold my car, this and that. You ain't ready for entrepreneurship. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you do what you gotta do. And even if you watch the show Shark Tank, sometimes when people going in there to get money, you know, Mark Cuban was like, hey, have you eaten bread sandwiches? Because if you hadn't gotten to that stage, then hey, you might not be ready for entrepreneurship. So I told the young lady, I told her, don't cry. She said, well, let me tell you, I put money aside for your class. I'm gonna register for the class today. She said, I paid my 2 months rent at the salon and I paid my bills, a few bills at home. She didn't tell anybody what she had done. She's in a city where there's public transportation. So she was like, I sold my car. That's how bad this girl wanted. So I'm gonna tell you, it's a difference when you run into a tree miles an hour. But she is realizing now she's doing 100 miles an hour and she hit the tree. Had she taken a class before opening her business, that's kind of, this little glitch would have been hitting a tree at 5 miles. So she's ready now. But it took her back getting pushed against the wall for her to realize, I need that class. And when she finished crying and we talked and I told her, you're a real entrepreneur. When your back gets against the wall like that and you get in your quiet place and you realize, hey, I got some information 3 years ago that would have helped me prevent this situation. So I'm gonna do what I got to do to get that information. And some of you guys be watching the lives, you've been on my site, you kind of on the sideline. A girl, Alicia, who was on here earlier, she, we've been on the phone and people been calling and say, hey, when I see you, they see me, I'm gonna take your class. You making yourself feel good. You just got to do it. That's the bottom line. You just have to do it. The salon business has changed. The business model has changed. So my tip for you all today is to diversify. Some of you got to diversify your thinking. Sometimes I've been in situations where I can see, well, this person may be a really good person, and then they get swayed by some about entrepreneurship. And then they don't own a business, yet they're trying to tell you what you need to do and what you shouldn't do. It could be your husband, it could be your boyfriend, it could be your girlfriend. And luckily for this young lady, her boyfriend found out that she sold her car. And he paid for her plane ticket and he paid for her hotel room. So even in your partnerships, you better get somebody in your life that want to see you grow, and will jump in and just help and come in and say, okay, we're going to do this together. I got you. And she was, fortunate to have somebody in her life to do that. So the young lady will be in the class in a few days. And I'm just really proud of her because a lot of people wouldn't have gone to that extreme to sell their car. Anything else but not their vehicle. But she did what she felt she needed to do. The other thing I have on this sheet of paper, my little notes, is the insurance codes for hair loss have changed. There are some new codes out there and they've added some codes. So these are medical codes. So if hair loss wasn't a real issue, do you think they would even add more medical codes because there are so many different types of alopecia? So, hey Wayne, so they've added some new codes. So if you've already had my class, you have the website. So go to the website and look on that site, put in alopecia, and you will see the new codes. Those of you that have not had my class need to get enrolled. So go to TonyLove.com. Click on education and click on class registration. Education and class registration. And then you can watch a free online session about the hair loss certification class. You can also register for that on that same page. If you need more information, you can email me, and my email address is also there. So again, I just wanted to come on. Hey Juan, I just wanted to give you a tip, and my tip for this video, for this session with you guys, is to diversify. You have to diversify your business. You have to get government contracts. You have to work with doctors and dermatologists so you can get referrals. You have to specialize. And those of you that are barbers that are watching, hey Anna, if you're a barber and you're watching, one tip I want to give you, you can get a vendor's contract at the VA. You can go in and cut and shave the patients. I've had students in Alabama and different places that have contracts. Go to TonyLove.com. I don't tell you anything that's not true and that can't be proven. So if you go to my website, go to graduate results. You will see different organizations that these students are working with. Hey George. So I just want you guys to know. Oh, and another thing, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, or other, the class is for you. Hair loss is universal. Men, women, children, all ethnicities. If you want to hear some live testimonials, go to TonyLove.com, click on About Tony. You will see my credentials, and you'll also see testimonials. And you can click on that. You'll see testimonies from Caucasians, African Americans, different New York, California, different Florida, different places, even Alaska. I have a girl that came over from Alaska to take the class. So my tip for you guys today is to diversify. Diversify your business. Add some services that can help solve problems. If you're in a military town, or if there's a VA or any kind of military base or military hospital near you, you need this class ASAP. So again, go to TonyLove.com, click on Education and Class Registration, and you can watch a free online session about the class. It's about 45 minutes long, tell you everything about the class. If you had the class before, get your notes out, and it's going to serve as a refresher for you. And again, you need to get registered for this class ASAP. The insurance codes have changed, so if you got some old information, you need the new information, and that's the thing. Building relationships with the doctors and medical professionals, you need to be doing that. So again, one last time, the tip is diversify your business, get in a niche market to help solve a problem. You will never have to worry about money. Focus on helping people. Go to TonyLove.com, T-O-N-I, click on Education and Class Registration, and watch the free online session about the class. And I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you.